Celebrity Encounters. Hey guys, today's episode is about celebrities I caught smoking in Hollywood. Sorry, I'm not a smoker. I'm going to tell you about my encounters with these celebrities, what they were doing the day I caught them smoking, where they were at, and stuff like that. And then I'm going to tell you if they are still smoking today. That's it. It's the whole episode. It's very basic. So let's check out my encounters with celebrity smokers. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Smoking. When I was a kid, it seemed so cool. One of my first memories of cigarettes were the candy ones. And I'm not talking about those bubblegum ones. The candy ones tasted awesome. It was basically a sugar stick with a painted red tip. And if you smoked those, then you were a king. And you were lucky. And you were bound for victory. You could be just like Dad. And boy, did they look cool. Hey Dad, can I bum a smoke? What every father wants to hear their son say. There was also the bubblegum cigarettes, but I didn't really like the taste of those. The best thing about the bubblegum cigarettes is when you blew on them, a powdered sugar poof would come out. It made it look like you were really smoking. That was the coolest thing about those, but those tasted like shit. If you were 8 years old and found a bowl of these beauties in your house, then the party was on. And if you were a kid but didn't like smoking, then Big League Chew had you covered. You could pretend to chew tobacco, just like your favorite Major League Baseball player. Look at how delicious that looks. It's almost looks as delicious as the real thing. Nothing says cool and sexy like a big wad of chewing tobacco in your mouth. The ladies love it, and it's a good thing for the kids to learn at an early age. I'm wondering if some of the stars I caught smoking were influenced by these tasty treats when they were growing up. Do you think our first celebrity smoker, Matthew McConaughey, ever put a Lucky in his mouth? I'm not sure, but it'd be a lot cooler if he did.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
All right. Matt's got the Marlboro Lights.
All right.
Here's Matt leaving the Spider Club on a hot summer night in 2004. His shirt has been either torn open or he took down those buttons to cool off. Calm down, ladies, calm down. His face is sweaty, so he must have been dancing up a storm inside the club. At this point, Matt just wants to find his limo and enjoy those sweet Marlboro Lights, but it won't be easy. First, he has to find where's his limo's at. Is it over there? Is it over there? I don't know. Maybe it's over there. Once he figures out which direction the limo in, he's still got to get there, and that won't be easy. First, this random club girl wants to introduce herself, while some other dude tries to get a selfie. As Matt continues his mission to find the limo, the girl tries to invite herself along with Matt. And then, of course, Tito the flower guy has to say hi.
What up, Tito?
Just when Matt gets to his limo, he has one more picture to take. It's not easy being Matthew McConaughey, people. Then, finally, Matt sits in the limo, opens the window, and takes a glorious puff of that Marlboro Light. I took this picture in 2004, so I always like to try to find out if the celebrities are still smoking today. It turns out Matt smokes a lot in all of his movies. Check out all these pictures I have of Matt smoking as a character in a movie or TV show. I mean, he smokes a lot, and he does a good job of it. But in real life, I couldn't find any recent photos of Matt smoking, so I think he kicked the habit. Although he has admitted to smoking cigars in Cigar Aficionado magazine. It looks like he's given up smoking Marlboro Lights in real life. Our next celebrity smoker is Kevin Smith. Most of you know him as Silent Bob from Jay and Silent Bob and the Clerks movies, but he's also directed a bunch of other movies and does podcasts. Kevin's first film was Clerks, where he and Jason Mewes played stoners that hung outside a convenience store. Kevin's character stood outside this store smoking throughout the movie. Kevin has come a long way from slumming it at that New Jersey convenience store, because when I caught Kevin, he was smoking outside of one of LA's fanciest restaurants, the Ivy. The Ivy is one of the hottest celebrity hangouts in Los Angeles. The same day I photographed Kevin there, I also caught Paris Hilton and one of her boyfriends there. On this day, I sat across the street and took pictures from my car. I wonder if Kevin prefers smoking outside the Ivy with its warm weather and rich famous customers, or smoking outside the cold parking lot in New Jersey. I talked to Kevin a couple times over the years, not as a paparazzi, but at Comic-Cons and other nerd fests like that. And he seemed like a totally down-to-earth, really nice guy. We actually have Bruce Willis in common. Bruce was both of our idols growing up, but we both had bad experiences with Bruce once we moved to Hollywood. Kevin directed Bruce in a movie called Cop Out, and thought Bruce was an a-hole. I also think Bruce is an a-hole. You can watch my disappointing encounters with Bruce in episode 4 of this YouTube series. This picture was taken in 2005, when Kevin was a 2-pack-a-day smoker. Kevin stopped smoking in 2008 when he decided to smoke weed full-time instead. Nice move, Kevin. All right, all right, all right.
1, 2, 3, 4. Noise, noise, noise. Smoking weed, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts.
Nicole Richie is the adopted daughter of Lionel Richie. She is best known for hanging out with Paris Hilton and their show The Simple Life back in the early 2000s. She's also been on a number of reality shows and has a fashion line. I caught Nicole smoking in 2003 outside Joseph's nightclub. On this night, she was hanging out with Kim Stewart, which is Rod Stewart's daughter. Kim is wearing a Boy Scout outfit on this night, which must have been a thing in the early 2000s because I also photographed Avril Lavigne's ex-husband, Deryck Whibley, in a Boy Scout shirt around that same time. After Nicole is done enjoying her smoke, it's time for a nice run in heels. Ouch! Looks like that hurts. It's not easy keeping up with those long legs of Kim Stewart. I covered Nicole a lot in Hollywood and witnessed her do a lot of crazy stuff, but I don't remember her smoking much after this night. I did research and could find no evidence that she is still smoking cigarettes, so I think it was a short phase Nicole was going through. She's now a mother of 2. Our next smoker is Josh Hartnett. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Josh seemed like he was on the fast track to megastardom. He was one of Teen People's hottest stars under 25, and one of People magazine's most beautiful people. He was on the magazine covers of GQ, Vanity Fair, Vogue. He was in big movies like Black Hawk Down, Pearl Harbor, The Faculty, The Virgin Suicides, Halloween H2O, and Hollywood Homicide with Harrison Ford. I remember people saying that Josh was going to be the next Harrison Ford. But after 2007, Josh kind of disappeared. He was still acting, but not in traditional blockbusters. Apparently Josh turned down the role of Superman as he didn't want to be known forever as Superman and be typecast, and he decided to do independent films instead. Josh didn't want to sell out to the Hollywood machine, which I think is pretty respectable. But I'm sure a lot of people out there think that Josh was stupid for turning down that huge paycheck and the next level stardom Superman would bring. He did do a TV show that sounds pretty cool and got critical acclaim in 2014 called Penny Dreadful. On this night, Josh is outside on the patio of the Argyle Hotel having a smoke. He seems to be drawing a bit of a crowd as he chats it up with other clubgoers. Now look who's lurking around behind him. It's Kirsten Dunst, Josh's co-star from The Virgin Suicides, and Mary Jane from the early 2000 Spider-Man movies. There were a number of rumors that Josh and Kirsten hooked up back in the day, and this would have been a good time for a hookup, as Kirsten had just broke up with Jake Gyllenhaal about a month before this picture was taken, in August of 2004. Although from what I saw on this night, when both were hanging out on the patio together, Josh seemed to kind of ignore Kirsten. I know that Josh smoked a lot in the early 2000s, but as I did some research, I could not confirm nor deny whether Josh is still smoking cigarettes today. Josh is currently not married, but in a relationship with actress Tamsin Egerton, and they have 3 children together. Pink is coming up. Let's get this party started. It's Pink, and Pink being a rock star, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that she's a smoker. But Pink admitted that she was a smoker long before becoming a rock star. She said she was a pack-a-day smoker at the age of 13. I took these pictures of Pink smoking at the Green Door nightclub in 2008. As she heads into the club, she gives the door guy a hug and still manages to take a drag off her cigarette. Awesome move. Now that's a skill of a true smoker. Check out her tattoo that I never noticed before. It says Sir Corky Moore. Corky was the name of her childhood dog, and Pink's real last name is Moore. So there's the mystery behind that tattoo. Here's Pink leaving the club, still smoking with a big smile on her face. Once she gets to the car, she no-hands a cigarette, giving me a great shot of her with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. And then, once she's comfortably in the car, she takes a nice drag off that smoke. I caught Pink smoking on other occasions, and I figured that she was still smoking today. But it turns out, Pink quit smoking when she got pregnant with her first child in 2010. She also said that her bad smoking habit was taking a toll on her vocal cords, and a songwriting friend of hers encouraged her to quit. She told Shape magazine that she used Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking book to quit. And now her children make her not want to smoke. And nowadays, the smell of cigarettes repulses her. Good job kicking the habit, Pink. I encountered Pink a lot in Hollywood. I photographed her partying, smoking, drinking, and everything throughout the years. So I hope to do a whole episode on Pink in the future, which is another good reason to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Okay, let's do one last celebrity smoker. It's Tara Reid, known mostly for American Pie movies and later for the Sharknado movies, and for just being a party girl. She even had her own show called Taradise about partying. And yes, Tara smokes. Would you expect anything less from a party girl? Here she is outside White Lotus nightclub in 2003 with a pack of Marlboros. While I was doing research on Tara for this episode, I came across a series of YouTube videos that show Tara smoking in TV and movies that were pretty funny. It's called Tara Reid Smoking, and there's like 7 episodes. It's just pictures of her smoking. Here's a few shots, but my favorite was her role in Scrubs where she plays a smoker girlfriend of Zach Braff. The best scene is where Tara has an ashtray full of cigarettes on her stomach as she smokes after sex. And then at the bar, Zach kisses her and imagines her as a giant cigarette. I figured Tara must have stopped smoking by now, as 2003 was a long time ago. But she is still smoking after all these years. Tara, it might be time to get that book that helped Pink quit smoking. Alan Carr's Easy Ways to Stop. Hey, you guys say what you want about Tara Reid, but she's not a quitter, no matter what you say about her. Hey everybody, this is my 12th episode, so I want to thank everybody for watching either one episode or all 12 episodes. I really appreciate it. And thanks for everybody for sharing, for liking, for commenting. Nice comments. And thanks for everybody that subscribed. That's huge. And even thanks to the people who make rude comments and don't like me. That's fine. And especially thank you to the people who think this show sucks, but they don't comment on it. They just don't say anything. They're like, this show sucks. I'm just never going to watch it again. I appreciate that from you guys, that you don't get on my bust my balls about it. So I appreciate everybody. So hey, if you haven't watched the other episodes, now would be a good time to go back and check those out. Episode 1, Jack Nicholson is awesome. Episode 2, Leo DiCaprio sucks. Episode 3, Avril Lavigne is complicated. Episode 4, Bruce Willis, Never Meet Your Idols, a.k.a. Bruce Willis is an a-hole episode. Episode 5, Brittany Murphy, Gone Too Soon. Episode 6, Drew Barrymore, Late Nights and Gay Rights. Episode 7, Child Stars of the 70s and 80s, featuring Danica McKellar, the beautiful Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years, and the lovely Brooke Shields. 2 awesome people. Episode 8, Boy Bands, which features Mark Wahlberg, members of New Kids on the Block, and Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. And then episode 9, Britney Spears, Life Gets Toxic. Episode 10, David and Victoria Beckham. That's Posh Spice if you don't know the name Victoria Beckham. And that's called, what is it called? Something about Rude and Dangerous. And then episode 11, Celebrity Happy Hour. It's celebrities getting drunk and partying. And I got pictures of them. So go back and check those episodes out. They're all pretty good. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And please subscribe.